Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a quick game replay here. Hopped on to do a quick game of all of the Jedi sealed, and it was a really, really great game. If you are not playing this format, I would say definitely go check it out. Sometimes it can be, a little bit pool dependent, but I think if you look at my deck that I'm playing here, it doesn't have any big mains. It doesn't have any, crazy OP cards, I don't think. But it is fun, the little combos that you can make, work, and it's just fun using different cards. So in this deck, I start Coruscant to grab Rindili with mob points, and then usually I'll pull the Hoth third marker with my once per game battlefield pull. That's part of the built-in rule set of all the Jedi. Once per game you can pull a battleground. But it was in my force pile, so I just pulled another system and drew up my two land battlegrounds, or two battleground sites, I guess you would say. So my opponent here, MSB, has got a really cool deck, as you'll kind of see it play out and make some great plays. And it was just, it was a fun, engaging game, lots of back and forth. And the great thing about all the Jedi is you're always going to get lots of battling. Most of the time, at least. Sometimes it's like, I sit at my site and drain, you sit at your site and drain. So he played out Kessel, so I knew I couldn't let him get a drain of 3 there, otherwise I was going to be dead. So I sent out my space to go contest that. I knew I had some backup pilots. I want to set up Jaquil down at Hoth, as he's a big boy down there. And then I go ahead and cycle my 6 so that I can get it set up. I'm activating 13 force, so I know next turn I can activate down 12 force down to that 6 in case he does come battle me on Kessel. So that's one thing that's really interesting about this format. It forces you to become better at tracking, since the decks start so small. Essentially, if you're not tracking destinies, you're losing. So that is something that is not my strong suit, and so I've been working on it and trying to get a little bit better at it. And so I like this format because right away, turn whatever this is 2, I'm already kind of realizing I need to track destinies. So here, deploy one guy, do the dark maneuvers to get that into my use pile, and I know that dark maneuvers is going to be also after the 5 to deploy him, it's going to be 13 cards down, so I can activate my full 13 and sit on a 6. By this point, I've lost the masterful move though, so I'm still at kind of like 1 card at a time tracking, but we're getting there. The other great thing about this format is that cards that might not see play are just all stars. Like, granted, Dark Maneuver does see play in some decks, but any recyclable 5, even if you're playing it to do nothing, is a great card because you need to track those high destinies. Here he puts the insert card into my deck, right? You don't have shields, so now you're playing with inserts. And so I knew that there was no way I could set up a fight this turn because he wasn't on the ground. I didn't have enough space to go fight him in space. And I didn't want to lose that 4 force. So what I do here is I just activate a couple. All I want to do is be able to scanning crew his hand, put somebody away, check to see if I'm going to be safe to go to another ground location, and I am. So the fact that he has all these systems and all these ships kind of tells me that he's playing space exclusively. I'm sure he'll have some, kind of tricks or answers to the ground, but I'm free here to go down with my bunker and just an Arden who draws on his own, and I'm not going to get stomped on. So yeah, scanning crew, anything that looks in their hand, really helpful too. And yeah, now I know, I think at this point I still remember where that 6 is, but it's only 9 cards down, so I'd only be able to activate 9 if I want to use it. And also I know there's an Anger for Aggression in there somewhere. So he plays over to Kessel. He's going to try and come over and take it down. He's starting to cycle his 6s as well with Fall of the Legend. And now we've got to be ready for a fight. I actually do have 2 Star Destroyers in this deck, so I was the past, well, I guess last turn I didn't draw any cards, but I was trying to get to draw into them so that I could shore up my space fleet there. I can't remember here if I activate down to the 6 Destiny or if I activate everything. I know he has a 2 on top of his deck and then a 6. So I'm kind of watching to see what he loses from these drains here. Oh, I forgot to drain. I clicked through. And so he goes back, so we do the drain. Oh, that's right. He plays It Could Be Worse. Oh, and I saw a barrier in his hand too when I peeked at his hand with Scanning Crew, so I know he has barrier. So I'm thinking I'm just going to deploy this turn and not fight. But then I see that he doesn't lose 1 off the top, so I know he's got a 2 Destiny on the top. And so I figure, hey, let's go for it. Let's try and start a fight. So I pilot up these ships. I think I throw somebody on there for forfeit fodder. And then he's going to barrier. And I'm thinking, no, it's just 1 pilot. That's okay. I think I still want to go for it here, since he's sitting a 2 on the top. But then he drops the Careful Planning. Get rid of that 2, activate some force, and get him a chance for something else. So we'll see that he blue milks a card that I didn't know what my destiny was, since I had activated everything. Maybe he was tracking my destiny. But we managed to hit our 6. And then he hits. Oh, okay, his Fall of Legend. So he knew that the fall was 3 cards deep, so he knew he was getting that 6 in this battle with the Careful Planning. And that's actually a trick that he's going to do again. So this player, MSB, very, very good at tracking destinies. He's got a Visored Vision, great card. He's going to ping me. He knows what's in my use pile there, so he calls for the Masterful Move. Then I draw my Dark Maneuvers. I know he's going to try and fight me, and he just used his blue milk, so I'm going to stack that on the top of my deck. Or on the top of my use pile, which is going to become my deck. I'm going to fill up, looking for Star Destroyer, Star Destroyer, Star Destroyer. But we got some pilots. I can't remember why I saved a force here. I think I was just a little worried about drawing too much and not being able to deploy. Or maybe I was just trying to bluff a barrier. But he comes down with Undercover Han to block that drain. Projection of Skywalker on the other site to limit that drain. So his deck design here is actually really cool. He just has tons of ships, tons of pilots. He's got Han to block 1 drain, projection for the other drain. Usually you'll see people playing on 2 sites on the ground. And then he comes down with the Wart. I think it's his 2nd Wart that he has, and in this game, I have no clue how creatures work, and he just goes 3 power to 2 power. My guy's dead. I think I made a comment in here, something about just like, okay, well, that's how creatures work, eh? So now he moves to Fondor, and I don't know, I'm not sure why he didn't move straight over. Maybe he thought I wasn't going to fight into that. Maybe he just wanted to get one ping damage through next turn. I'm not sure. But he stacks a 6 on top. And now I activate down to my 6. And so I know we're trading 6 for 6 here. I figure, hey, I'm going to get a bunch of pilots on. Why wouldn't I go for it? He doesn't have, as much forfeit there stacked up as I do. But I think probably the right play is just to even throw some extra forfeit down there. You can see the destroyers circling in my use pile. So we're going to swap 6s again here. Oh, it wasn't a 6. Okay. So I probably shouldn't have battled there if I didn't know what that destiny was. That is probably a mistake. Because I could have really lost big on that one. So I lose some of my forfeit fodder. And we're going to draw some more cards. Oh, and there's the masterful move. So, and there's my 2 6s. Yeah, so I think I stack one of them right now. And maybe I should have stacked the dark maneuvers here so that I could have drawn one more card. But I think my theory was that I wanted the dark maneuvers for the battle so that I could set up next turn's destiny too. So I want to set up this turn and next turn, rather than having the larger hand to potentially play with. So now I'm going to dark maneuvers, get the +1 power bonus, and now I can activate 11 straight down to that 6 again. I think the one thing I'm forgetting about right now is the blue milk. But he's down to his 6, so we're just trading 6s back and forth all game long. And we both kind of know whoever's going to win this fight in space is going to win out. I'm doing a little bit of damage here with the 1. I guess that's why he stayed over, to keep kind of pace with me and keep pinging. With the 1s, we're trading drains of 1s. Now he's ahead, comes over, brings in the reinforcements, and now I know I just gotta survive this turn and try and reinforce that position. I'm not going to be starting fights there anymore. At this point, I'm like, Star Destroyer right now. Needs to be this draw. Ah, shit. And so we draw a few more, but it's too late. We don't have enough force left to deploy it, but we do get a pretty good pilot in Gergerod. And if I know if he breaks cover with his Han, I have the U3PO, which is probably not as good of a play. Oh, that's right. No. Did he battle me? He battled me there. I think he made a mistake. I think it doesn't show the chat, but I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of like, whoops. Like, yeah, I think he miscounted to that too. And so that kind of lets me get back into the game here. And then I'm going to make a mistake here by not deploying Josh Pure this turn. I think my thinking was here he's going to ping me for 1 again, I think maybe in that spot I lose my visored vision to get rid of that 6, the masterful move, so that I know that I don't have it sitting here on the bottom. But at this point I knew as well that he didn't have a 6 on top right now, so I thought I have to... Oh, no, this wasn't the turn. I thought I want to get Jar Jar down, I want to get U3PO down, and I want to have that 6 sitting there on top for when he comes to fight me. That was my reasoning, I think, why I didn't play Dash Pure. Maybe the better play would have been to play it on the ground and then just race him 3-3. I think at that point I was up cards a little bit. And so maybe I just go leave the space. Josh, can't remember. He activates my 6 away, which is annoying. But, I mean, it was going to activate anyway. Oh, no, he activated his own card. Yeah, he's got the it could be worse. He's kind of filled up his hand. And I think this is where I get greedy. Because I'm pretty sure... Yes, I knew that he didn't have a 6 on top, but he had the careful planning again. He knew it was Grimtash. He knew he was activating down to his 6 again. So I think that's where I thought, okay, here I go. I'm gonna rip my 6 into his not 6, and he had everything set up with the careful planning. So that was huge. Yeah, he was just way better than me at tracking destinies. So now I know the fight in space is lost. I just have to try and hang on there and try and outdrain him on the ground. So I'm gonna go with Josh Pure, and we're going to try and hold our 3 on the ground to his 3. And I know I have a control, so the first drain of 3 that he's going to get off, I can cancel. Still have Destiny there, so it's not terrible. And that was one that I think he was just willing to take the trade because he was up so much in force. And yeah, I didn't know what my Destiny was either. There was a chance it could have been a 1 there with the Tyrant. So he's down to 1 card, and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe here we can pull this around, because right now it's 9-9 in like life force and hand totals. I'm still draining, he isn't right now. I know I'm going to go down here, I'm going to start a battle, I'm going to clear Han off, as long as I don't leave my reserve deck empty. I still don't know actually what happens if we tie a battle with the creature and Josh Pure. If it's 3-3, I have no idea. So on his turn, why didn't I battle there? I guess I couldn't activate 1 more. I don't know how to back up and take a look at that. I think if I activated 1 more, I wouldn't have had Destiny. So me and Han would have just done nothing. And then so the creature attacks me, I win, so nothing happens. I think if I attack it, I can clear it off. just trying to hang on a little bit. He's now like battling me in space for 2 damage a turn. And so he's getting ahead. But I know once I clear Han, I'll be back up to draining 3. And then I think all I have to do is survive this next battle. I can lose Jerdrod and Saber, and then cancel his drain at Kessel with my control, and then I should be able to put it away, because it would be, yeah, I was thinking at this point it is 7 to 6 for him, and on his turn I think I'm going to lose nothing, because I think Saber and Jerdrod are going to cover it. And then I'm going to drain for 3, so it'll be 6 to 4 for me. He'll drain, I'll control. I'll drain, he'll be down to 1. And then I think I've got this in the bag right here. But he had drawn up to Bren. He had stacked his 6. So he's going to come overflow me here and take the game. But yeah, that's... all the Jedi sealed, so you don't have to open any bombs. Like, if you look at our game, yeah, we each had Undercover Spy, which is a really good card, but, you know, most of it we're making the use of you know, just whatever we got. People with good deploy and forfeit values, and some used interrupts that can cycle, and I did have the, if people were going to come down to the marker here, I have in one of my games been able to make them missing track of 6. It was a big character, I think, and then because they were left with 1 at some point. But yeah, anyhow, all the Jedi sealed. If you're not checking it out yet, check it out. It rotates through every like month or so. You get a bunch of packs to open. It's 2 packs per booster. 2 packs per set, sorry. You open them all up, you build 1 light, 1 dark of 40 cards. They also give you a light side and dark side battleground system and sight, as well as a grabber and a starting interrupt. That comes in like every time you join the league, you get that. And then halfway through the league, you get 1 more pack of everything to kind of modify your decks a little bit, and it's a lot of fun. Games are pretty quick, and they're not always this close, but yeah, this one was a good example of yeah, great game. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.